So about 6 weeks ago, I got an email from a woman, and she wrote, and I quote, "Hey Steve, there's someone in my life that is critically ill with something the doctors cannot do anything about, and I just don't want to give up yet. Could we have a Zoom meeting?" I was like, wow, yeah, for sure, like, I'm totally honored about that. So I set up the meeting, and the day happened. And just as I'm about to let her in to the chat room, what I don't know then is that I'm walking into one of the most absolute bizarre situation of my life. But it's okay, because I don't know that then, right? I just don't know that yet. So I let her into the chat room, and I meet this woman. Her name is Shauna. And hurriedly, like very fast, she said to me, "Steve, just so you know, we have tried grounding mat, PEMF mat, red light, oxygen, shaman, voodoo, Hindu." Like she mentioned stuff to me that I never even heard of before, and we've tried it all and nothing worked. But we found you, thank God, and you're like the next best thing, and like we need you. Holy moly, what the hell's going on here, right? Anyway, so I'm kind of weirded out by it a little bit, right? Because usually when people get in touch with me, they've done their research and everything else, and typically people get in touch with me one or two reasons. One is they want me to help them build something, or two, they want something customized for them, and we just go to work together that way, right? Not this time. So anyway, and remember I told you it was bizarre? Here it is. We just keep chatting like this, and out of nowhere she goes, "Okay Steve, are you ready now?" I'm like, "Ready for what?" And she's like, "Well, just so you know, this is not about me." I'm like, "Okay." "It's about my sister." I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "Well, I will let her talk to you in a few moments. I gave you the link to the Zoom chat, and I'm texting her right now to come and join us. And just so you know, she's the chief medical examiner at our local hospital." I'm like, wow. And she's like burnt out of all these alternative healing, energy, medicine, thingy-majigger. So I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, what am I here for, right? And she says, well, it's like, we had a family meeting, and everybody in our family watched your video, and we think that you're the guy to explain to her why things haven't worked until now, and why there's a chance it could work and stuff like that. So you just do your things, and you chat with her, and you convince her that she needs your PEMF. And I'm like, wow, that sounds easy, but like, I'm not here to convince people. Like, usually people have done their homework and we chit chat and stuff like that. But it's like, she's a medical examiner. I don't even know what that title means, but anyway. So I see her popping into my Zoom chat, and like, I can remember it like yesterday. Like, my hands are like sweaty, my heart is pounding, my breathing is getting heavy. I'm like, it's like I'm going to battle or something, and I'm like, whoa, like this, what's going on there? And then I got my mouse in my hand, and I'm about to click the letter in, and Shauna, bless her soul, she goes, "Oh, Steve." So I'm like, I stop, I freeze, right? Because now I'm like, okay, she's gonna tell me like a major piece of information that I require before I talk to her sister. Like, I still don't know anything that's going on. So I'm like, yeah? Before I tell you what she told me, I want to go over what the meeting was about. And then I'm going to tell you what she told me. It'll make sense in a minute. What the meeting was about was pretty simple. It was just 3 questions. And here they are, 3 questions. Question number 1. Basically, she asked me, how the hell can one modality fix so many conditions? To my experience, dot dot dot. Now that was one hell of a question to ask, and it was a good one. I mean, it was a really good one, really, but I didn't have an answer for it. I didn't. No, this is where everything is starting to go sideways on me, and we're not even at question 2 yet. Question 2, if we look at it, she's looked at me and she said, Steve, why does it have such a big impact on some people, and some other people it look like doesn't really do anything for them? I went, like I was completely like frozen inside. I'm like, wow, like she's like putting me checkmate and so quickly. And then the question 3, she said to me, she's like, okay, what makes the way you design PEMF so different than anybody else? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about this. I had to think about this for quite a while. This is my second chance at a first-time impression. I hope she's listening. Probably not, but I still hope she does. I know her family is, so hi family. I have good answers, and not only that, while I was researching some of those answers, I found some pretty amazing stuff, which is going to lead into another video coming up after this. Hint, it's about me going undercover. But anyway, so to answer the first question, let me take you on a brain experiment. Now, when we have a fire, when the house burns, for example, what happens is we see a fire truck showing up to the scene. Now, the same token, when we use the PEMF, most people, they see a great benefit. They feel it. Now, the same way that the fire truck did not start the fire, maybe PEMF does not do the healing directly. So, it's something else that starts the fire. What else can be doing the healing? Well, you guessed it, your body does the healing. Got this brilliant idea. I had to put it on a video and then share it with you guys. So I'm here thinking about the best way to answer that question was, and it dawned on me, like this is how I decided is like, okay, a tomato does not fight a cold directly. It just helps your body fight the cold. It gives your body what it needs to fight that cold. It gives your body what it needs to do whatever your body needs to do. The same way PEMF is. PEMF does not directly fight that cold. It enhances your cellular communication, reduces inflammation, gives you energy so your body can go fight that cold. This is what I mean by PEMF indirectly heals you. It's not directly like Western medicine that puts bolts or chemically modifies you, like chemically with pills and medicine, while mechanically with nuts and bolts, basically. PEMF doesn't do any of that, no more than this tomato does that. So whenever you eat food, whenever you PEMF, that's what you're doing to your body. You're indirectly helping it. Second question took me down a rabbit hole I never in my life thought I would go. Like, honest to God, it surprised the living hell out of me. And why do I say that? Well, first of all, it's a 2-part answer, right? Part 1, it's got to do with you, like your own genetic, your own disposition, what exactly is happening to you Do you eat well? Do you exercise? Can you do any of those things, right? So because of that, you'll have a lot of difference all over the place. And I'm pretty sure she anticipated that answers. But part two is where I was like, oh my God, like really? So I basically realized that not all PEMF are made equally. Yeah, believe it or not, that thought actually crossed my mind, and you need to know why. So I just thought that everybody else built PEMF like me. But you're gonna see in a second what happened. I went undercover, and we're gonna make a video about that. And I'm gonna compare a bunch of stuff. We're gonna test them and everything else. And you're gonna realize that most of them are made in China. They're all the same, just different logo on them. Same controller, same everything. So that pretty much answers the first two questions, right? Now, we're looking at basically the third question, which is closely related to the second question anyway, right? What makes my PEMF different? And this is what blew my mind. And like, I know it's hard to believe, right? But I never really paid attention to how anybody else was building them. I just thought they doing the same thing as me, like just follow the science. But it's not the way they have to work, because they have manufacturing, they have cost, they have all that stuff they have to do. You're probably wondering what I'm holding right now. This is a Chinese coil, right? I took one apart and unwinded one of them and everything else. But long story short, I was certain this would be better. Like, deep down inside of me, I wanted this to be better, because this is so much easier to make and also so much cheaper than everything else. And watch this. I'm going to show you. I ran a simulation with them. I took some measurement on them. And are they bad? No. They're not bad. But by no stretch of imagination are they optimized. That's what I'm saying. But they have manufacturing to deal with. They want them thin. They want this. They want the whole thing. So what makes my mat different than everybody else is the amount of copper I got on it. The coil is a better quality, and the amount of copper you got. So you get a ton more Weber. That's pretty much what it comes down to. A good square wave and a ton of copper. Nobody wants to do that because it costs money, and they don't want to spend money. So yeah.